Welcome back to another episode of Small Guys Podcast. We have myself, Josh, and Andrew tonight. We're going to be reviewing Blue Beetle, newest DCEU movie, kind of like the reboot of
DCU.
the DCU universe, I guess you could call it. We'll let Josh take it away for the synopsis.
Yeah, so an alien scarab chooses college graduate Jaime Reyes to be the symbiotic host, bestowing the teenager with a suit of armor that's capable of extraordinary and unpredictable powers, forever changing his destiny, and becomes the superhero known as the Blue Beetle. This has a 77% critic score, or 77% critic score, 91% audience score. So a little bit of a difference there between the two. Like Aiden said, this starts a new universe. From our understanding, they do mention Batman, they do mention the Flash, they do mention Superman, but they're not in it. They do not show pictures of them or anything like that. So, I don't know if they're recasted or what else. But I do want to start that off. I do love that this movie is secluded to its own thing. Like they didn't have to rely on other superheroes showing up, because I feel like that's been. I mean, the last two DC EU movies we've gotten, Wonder Woman shows up and there's that guitar riff. Because she shows up in Shazam 2 and she shows up randomly in The Flash as well for like a minute. And it's not needed. So I'm glad that this movie didn't do that. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on that. But
one scene. It was like
that's
not
what
even a
Shazam
minute long.
was
It
too.
was just weird as hell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, she shows up right at the end.
Yeah, I think she's the only character that they're really not going to recast. I think they agreed on that.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys saw that, but yeah, because I mean that's really the only successful franchise out of the existing universe.
Yeah,
the past.
Well, too, and I saw this, and I know we kind of talked about it a little bit after we saw the movie, but the budget for this movie was, I believe, 100 or 115 million, whereas the Flash was 104 million, where the Flash was 300 million. So
insane,
about triple.
Insane.
Yeah, I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on this, but like I feel like the CGI and everything was far better in this than that.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't like there were scenes where I was like, "All right, that looks cheesy," but it didn't look horrible. How will it hold up in 10 years? Probably not great.
Yeah, what comes to mind is like Thor: Love and Thunder or The Flash, which we just saw like CGI wise, which looked like when we saw it. When you walk out of the theater and you see a movie like this, you're like, "Ooh, the CGI was not good." And we're in 2023. It's like that's pretty bad.
I feel like I kind of let this one slide with the CGI because, I mean, off rip here, I went into this movie with the expectation. Well, actually, that's not true. 3 weeks before seeing this movie, I said I wasn't going to see it because I thought it was going to be the worst thing ever. I then, through Josh and Aiden and I think Brian or maybe Mike, I don't remember. Rip Mike. Don't worry, Mike's still with us. He's just off the podcast for a little while. Focus on his education.
Yeah.
But they kind of convinced me like, okay, maybe it's not that bad. And then someone I work with said like, yeah, it's okay. It's kind of like every other superhero movie that's come out in the last 5 years. Like it's pretty cookie cutter, but it's not bad either. So I then went into it with that expectation, like, all right, this is going to be okay. And I walked out of it and I was like, this was okay.
So I was in the same boat. I mean, I didn't have any expectations for this movie at all. I thought I'd give it a try. So that's why I basically went to go see it. Because I'm pretty sure I said that I wasn't going to see it originally when I saw the trailer.
I think it was you and me that said we were
but I realized that the Zolo kid who played Jaime, he was in Cobra Kai. And I watched like the first season or the second season. I think they have like 4 or 5 total, but I thought he was a good actor. So I thought he did a good job in this.
Yeah, I saw too. He was born in 2001, so like,
yeah, he's young.
He's younger than us.
He's what, 22? 21, 22?
Yeah, he's 22.
Damn.
I mean, I'm only 23, so it's not like much younger, I guess. But like, I don't know.
But I mean, you're pushing 24 any day now.
But you're like 23.
That's a few months away.
3 days.
Yeah,
or 360 days.
We've been over this. You're 24. Let's call you 25. And if we're calling you 25, we might as well call you 30.
For the viewers that don't believe Josh, he's showing his license right now. So
Yeah, watch the YouTube video to see Josh. We
receipts.
just put an age filter on him to make him actually look 70.
Yeah.
No, luckily, no. I do. I probably look younger than him, and I do have the same abs. I was watching when I watched the movie. I was like, yeah, I look like that. So, no, it is interesting though. I guess we could talk about the cast. Yeah, that's a filter too. Yeah, we could talk about the cast. What did you guys think? Because this family's in it a lot.
Yeah.
I want to say, I think when him and the family are all together in scenes, I think that's when it's at its best. This movie,
100%.
It feels more unique in a superhero movie than what we're used to.
I felt like that kind of felt very Fast and Furious-esque, really leaning in on family. That's kind of what I got from that vibe, but it was a little bit different.
These ones are actually a family and they're related?
Yeah, they're actually a family.
For starters.
But it gave me that vibe, personally.
Yeah. Did you like that, Aiden, that they were in it a lot, or do you wish it was more action?
I thought that it made it. No, I thought it gave more of it raised the stakes, I guess you could say. Like, that, and I like the origin story too. Like, I mean, he's not a superhero. He's just they basically said that this scarab chose who it was, but they didn't show he's a great guy. Like, he's just a kid,
it just happened to decide it was him.
Land in his hands. So I thought that was cool. Definitely George Lopez carried the fuck out of this movie. I think we can all agree on that.
The comedic relief was enjoyable in this movie. Actually, 100%. I really did actually like that. And usually, I think because what they did with it versus Thor: Love and Thunder, that comedy was obnoxious and stupid.
Yeah. Every 30 seconds is a joke.
Yeah, this was witty one-liners, one after another, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and he's a crazy T.O. too, so people can relate to that. That's what I feel like this movie is super relatable to families, anyone that you can think of.
Everyone has a crazy uncle, I feel like.
Oh, yeah, but it's not here's the mom, here's the dad, here's the sister. They don't have chemistry. But I think that the chemistry flowed good in this one. I think that's what it definitely. It takes every scene that they're in.
I will say this. Me and Josh mentioned this. We told you right after Aiden. The movie starts out. They mention that his dad had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Before
while he was away at school. Yeah.
While he's away at school. Oh yeah, you were. Yeah,
so
I
was there.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Yeah, no, because he said, and he was holding his chest. I got to the part right where he took a bite of the taco, and then he was like,
"Oh, okay."
Well, Andrew, before you say that, there was a open credit scene, and it's the Sam Raimi trilogy, how they'd have the webs and the credits and the pictures from the previous movie or whatever.
That's pretty cool.
For the first 2 minutes. So that's what you missed, which is nothing.
Yeah, but you did actually. You mentioned that too, Josh. You were like, "Oh, I didn't know movies still did this."
It's weird to see a superhero movie do it because I haven't seen it in a while. And I could be wrong. Maybe one did recently.
What do you mean? It's had the Marvel opening title or no?
No, so it was going through space. We're following the scarab, and it's showing the credits of who's in the movie, George Lopez, showing all the names and stuff and the director's name, and it goes on for 2 minutes, and then finally lands on Earth, and then
shit,
yeah. So it kind of gives you the history of the scarab a little bit, where it came from in a way.
Does it show it just comes from space? It doesn't show the aliens or anything.
Space. Yeah, so I sent something on
Infinity Stones.
I sent something through on Twitter about 10 minutes ago, so you probably didn't see it, Aiden. But it is the title sequence, and the scarab's flying through space, and you see a green thing hit it, and apparently it's the Green Lantern ring, crashed into it.
Really?
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. I didn't even notice it when we were watching it, but someone pointed it out on Twitter.
I hope they reboot the Green Lantern series.
Well, they that's in the plans, so.
Yeah, I'm excited.
But yeah, Andrew, go ahead. So then they talk about Jaime returns from college, and he's finally catching up with his family. They sold the family business, then you figure out that his dad's been having health issues. But then, you turned to me and told me.
I leaned over to Josh and just said, "All right, well, he's gonna die in this movie." That's 3 minutes in, they line that up. Oh, he's having heart problems. I'm like, that's gonna be the emotional turn. At probably act two going into 3 right there. I had that in my head. Now that does end up happening, but I think the execution of it was still good because of the chaos that was going on at the time. You've got his dad having a heart attack. Meanwhile, the house is burning down. The family's scared shitless. Like, there was a lot going on. Yeah, there was a lot going on at once that helped make that emotional thing that was predictable still good. Because it felt so high stakes.
Yeah, I mean, I was sitting down when they originally mentioned, like, when they're all like catching up, and they mentioned like his dad having heart problems, but I didn't see that part coming at all.
Really?
Yeah, when he drops, so that's why I was kind of shocked.
But... Yeah, because I thought about it for a second, I'm like, huh, and then Andrew literally said it like immediately after the line was done. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right there because, you know, like Andrew said, in the first 3 minutes, you're setting that up already. It's like, all right, maybe we have something to expect here.
But I want to touch back on the CGI because I thought that it was sweet. You could definitely tell that the suit was like prosthetics. Yeah. You know, it was natural. Like, and I remember seeing some stills of like them being on set, and the suit looks identical to the movie, which is sweet. Yes. So I think that was cool. It looked practical. I did think that what was the Olmec?
Yeah.
I thought that looked cheesy.
Olmec.
Yeah.
So I thought that looked kind of cheesy, and it was like you mentioned, it's like a cookie cutter superhero story. I mean, I'm assuming they based it off the comics, but I mean, I've never even heard of the Blue Beetle until they announced it.
Well, so Blue Beetle's been around since 1939. I looked it up.
Yeah. So
the character's been around for a long ass time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool. But the only time I've ever seen Blue Beetle was in Injustice or Young Justice. Sorry, Young Justice, the show. And he became, because he wasn't too familiar with most people, he became a fan favorite in that show. And then his character started getting like more and more scenes in the show. So I'm glad they finally made it into a movie. Because he kind of feels like, in a way, like their version of like, I don't know, like Spider-Man almost, like a young kid who gets this ability.
I think that was my problem with this movie is because not even that we've seen it before and that it's cookie cutter, but like the movie ends, we're going to the end credit scenes, and I just didn't care because I don't want to be invested in that anymore. Like, I feel like I got what I wanted through like that beginning Marvel phase, those 23 movies. I know what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, you know that they're trying to reboot that DC. They're trying to make it like somewhat enjoyable for anyone that actually likes the characters and stuff like that.
Well,
I think they're gonna have like a good run, but I mean, it is hard to get people invested, you know.
Well, what I was telling Andrew too is a lot of movies are doing these end credit scenes now. Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did it, Super Mario Bros. Movie did it. Like other movies outside of the superhero movie genre are doing it. Like Fast and Furious movies do it too.
Yeah, but
so it's like it's becoming a thing.
But yeah, I mean, it sets up for like
I should mention Transformers did it too.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, you know, all these movies are doing end credit scenes now. Yes, because Marvel made them popular, but now it's like, you know. So to say that, I mean, in fairness, other studios are doing it outside of the superhero genre.
But no, I mean, it works. It definitely does. It helps the studios out. And I mean, you know that they're going to see, I mean, there's going to be multiple movies. And I'm curious to see how many movies DC puts out in like a short amount of time. Because if it ends up being like Marvel, you know, you're putting out too much, and then you get introduced to a character in an end credit scene. You don't see him for 5-10 years like Marvel. Like everyone's going to lose interest.
I feel like that's what's going to happen because they're going to try and catch up to Marvel and try and get on that level, and they're going to butcher it.
If they have any common sense, they know that that's going to take years.
Yeah. No, and I want to mention too that I think this movie's made a little over 30 million so far, which again good. The budget was 104, so you know, hopefully it can keep going.
They got some work to do.
Yeah, they do. Well, the problem is, Warner Brothers came up today and announced that it's coming to streaming September 19th. Which is less than a month from now. Yes. So,
but I don't understand. I mean, you have to be like an inside man in order to see like the profitability on that and like all that stuff. Like, how do they?
Does it make more sense?
But how does it benefit them? It has to. It has to benefit them if they're releasing it in like on a streaming platform. Because why would they do it if it didn't?
So they could.
Elemental has the same problem though.
They could release it to streaming, but then you still have to pay to see it, kind of thing.
I think it'll go straight to HBO, is what I assume.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. I mean, you got to think. Say, I own a movie theater, and this movie just came out, and you have theaters like allocated to show that in movie, and then they go and put it on streaming, and then your tickets are dead. You're wasting that screen time when you could put Barbie, whatever else is there that people are still willing to go watch. And you're just the theaters are losing out on money at that point.
Well, too, I want to definitely hit on this, so I don't forget saying it. But before we continue throughout the movie, we went and saw it on a Tuesday night, a weekday. Now this is after opening weekend. We had people clapping in our theater at the end, so
which was kind of surprising.
Yeah, I'm like, I had to remember. Oh wait, I have to go to work tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. It's not a Friday night release or Thursday night release or a weekend thing. This is a weekday thing, and it's crazy that I'm hearing people clap. And the theater was pretty full. So
yeah, it was actually.
Yeah, so I want to give the movie its credit there. I mean, we didn't clap, but people were happy about it, and people were excited. So I think if a movie can do that on a weekday, I think that's pretty good.
I did actually hear Aiden clapping. He was trying to do it quiet. He was doing it quietly. He didn't want to.
Every time George Lopez was on screen.
No, they also mentioned that this was it's like the first Hispanic superhero too. So I mean, you can think of Tenoch, whoever was Neymar in Black Panther, but I mean, it's just like Black Panther. I mean, it's got that title behind it. So a lot of people are going out to go see it. Yeah, Miles Morales.
Animated.
But, yeah. And I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the video of the director showing Zolo, telling him that he got the role, basically. And I mean, because that was huge. I mean, you got to think that was 2-3 years ago, however long they started filming this.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so when he was 18 years old.
Yeah, and he got...
You're going to be in a superhero movie?
And now he's like... I mean, you got to think, they give Iron Man all the credit for, MCU because of how successful it was, and, you never know. I mean, that could be this movie, too.
Maybe. I don't know.
To bring it back to the villain, that's who that reminded me of, is the Ironmonger from Iron Man 1. The bigger, clunkier robot suit. That's what that reminded me of. Yeah. I do want to say, though, I mean, we kind of have two villains in this movie, but for his character, I did like the actual, guy before he went into the big suit, especially when they showed, later on at the end of the movie when they show his flashbacks and stuff. I do actually like that character somewhat. You could tell he has remorse and, doesn't want to be under the heel of this empire or this company, but he has to, I don't know. I thought the character was more interesting than most of the villains we get nowadays in these movies. So.
Yeah, I like that there's an emotional aspect.
Yeah, no, that was good. I mean, we're kind of jumping all around. We're not going to go in order here, but I'm super surprised that he sacrifices himself at the end. I did not expect that at all. You see that he's got that locket of his mom, and you thought that it was his wife and kid or whatever, but it's him and his mother. And then, I mean, you see that the bomb that let it off was, what is it, Greer or Lear?
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was.
I'm not going to pretend like I know.
Cord.
Okay,
so you see the cord missile that's just like Iron Man. And then, I mean, you see he's got all this ability. He's as powerful as he'll ever be. He's still living all that. And he can still do whatever he wants.
He didn't
sacrifice himself.
Well, no, because I think he would have been kind of permanently in that robot-esque thing. I don't think he could get out of that. And I just think he was
True. I mean, he obviously didn't want to, and I like that because it went outside of the, whatever you predict. I predicted him teaming up with Blue Beetle, going doing his own thing, fighting his own stuff, and then he just goes and sacrifices himself.
What did you guys think of Jenny Cord?
Thought she was good.
Yeah.
It's crazy she's 28. She didn't look 28.
Yeah,
she was good. She definitely she definitely kept me entertained. I'll say that. But
she got introduced. I was like,
I was watching I was listening to, and I should say our competitors here. I was listening to the Lights Camera Barstool podcast earlier, and
shitty ass.
Yeah, they're talking about her, and they're like, she's one of the hottest actresses that they've had in one of these movies that have come out of the blue in a long time, and I just started laughing. It came out completely out of nowhere, but it's kind of funny.
Well, I mean, the only familiar face was obviously George Lopez and Sigourney Weaver, and then you have Zolo, who's up and coming. But those are the only three
or
people.
Susan
that I know.
Sarandon. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was like, well, when they first showed her, I'm like, is this gonna be the love interest? I'm like, yeah, right. I mean, Zolo is a good-looking guy too, though. But
Who the fuck told me that was Sigourney Weaver? Someone said that we were walking out.
I think Mike said that. Yeah.
No, he wasn't even with us. It was one of you two.
Yeah, I think Mike was mentioning.
I think
that.
it was you.
No,
Josh.
Mike said it. Mike said it before the movie.
I did not say that. So
I think it was Josh. I
Maybe it's
had
Brian?
it for Josh.
Maybe
I
it's
didn't
Brian
even
or
look at the
something.
cast until Josh just said that.
I think it was either Josh or Josh.
No, it was definitely Josh.
Could be either of them.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so now that I'm looking at it, dude, she's in That's My Boy. She's in a bunch of fucking movies.
Yeah.
Damn.
We might
and to
have
talk
her
about
on.
her character. Yeah, to talk about Bruna.
Mr. Woodcock.
Dude, she has 45 million Instagram followers too.
Holy shit!
That Bruna girl. I've
Who's
never
that?
heard of her before. That Jenny Cord.
45,001.
This is just everyone that saw this damn movie.
Yeah.
She looked way taller than she is.
She's 5'7".
Wow, you
She has
know
some boots
a lot.
I looked up Blue Beetle to get ready for this, and I clicked on her thing.
And you just happen to run across. You're like, yeah, and she lives at
You know, Zola was happy as hell.
She lives in
man.
LA. Yeah, I mean, he's how old is he again? 22, 21?
Yeah, he's
So, I
22.
don't know. Yeah,
So I thought that
he's a
was cool
good-looking
too
guy
at the beginning of the movie, like them sitting on the roof drinking, you know, doing all that stuff. I thought it was
Kill
like
it.
more relatable. Like it's not like some little high school superhero just like Spider-Man, you know, stuff like that, where he's like so innocent and all that, but he's just sitting there, he's just a normal ass guy.
I like the talk he had with his dad too at the beginning
Yeah,
when he goes outside and it's just them two and he's
yeah, that
drinking.
was good.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah, also, I feel like this is kind of rare, like, kind of looks and acts his age. Because, like, what, he's portrayed as, like a 21-year-old?
Yeah, he just graduated college, so he's
Yeah,
21.
and he's 22 in real, like, I feel
No,
that's
I'm pretty
actually
sure he
something
says he's 20. He said he's 22 in the movie, so.
Okay, so yeah, that is pretty rare that you get it where, like, I think that helped make it better too.
100%.
That he wasn't like, you know, trying to be a Peter Parker in high school and it's Andrew Garfield. It's like, bro,
he's 38 in real life. He's playing as 16-year-old.
You don't look like you're 16. Where like Zolo actually looks like he is his age, so that helps a lot.
I thought that was good.
Even his sister too looked young and she was funny too. I liked his sister.
Yeah, no, she was good. I mean, you think that they were going to do like Aquafina or something like that, but what movie was she in? She was in Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I'm glad. Like,
I'll mention something that I didn't like. I did not like the grandma's character at the end there.
Really?
When she becomes this, like, beast with the machine gun and I don't know, that to me that felt cheesy. Like I was like,
it was supposed to be cheesy.
It's cheesy. It is cheesy. 100%.
I know,
it's cheesy for sure.
I feel like I've seen this crap before. Like,
yeah, 100%.
I don't know. That was.
But, I mean, it's funny that they like mentioned
disappointed.
because they're not like, they're like, what the fuck? Like, what did you used to do, Granny?
Yeah.
And then it's like, I thought that was cool.
Yeah. So I think this movie's definitely cheesy, and I'm sure we'll mention it a few more times. Like, there's the part where the main big bad is like telling Jaime, you know, your family is the one that makes you weak, and you just know he's gonna be like, no, my family makes me strong. You know that's coming, and it does come, and it's corny. But then, like grandma gag, I don't know what it was. I was eating that shit up. I thought that was funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Like her walking around with the gun and shit.
I guess
it was funny.
I just thought it was
each
funny.
his own.
The only thing that killed that for me was like that shitty ass disco. What is it called? A fucking railgun or minigun?
Yeah,
Minigun.
It was like this
rainbow bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have made it more like legit, and I think that the other thing, like, it was cool that it was obviously more dark than anything we've seen from like Marvel, I guess you could say. Like, you see that one dude dies, Sanchez, that she kept calling him. Sanchez dies. You see the Beetle like vehicle or whatever like impales that guy.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
I think this movie, I mean, I know they could have never done it, but it would have been really cool rated R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they could have got more.
It's tailored to kids for sure still. I mean, there's a lot of humor for kids.
I think you can definitely tell. that it is.
Yeah.
It's not like Black Adam where everything was just corny as fuck from start to finish.
Yeah, Black Adam was bad.
Black Adam was awful.
Well, so I want to ask you guys this, and maybe you guys really didn't pick up on it, but I was noticing it quite a bit. Jaime really does not believe in killing. He's like Batman. He does not kill, right? It's a big thing for him. Yet his family has no problem killing people. No problem at all. Oh, they find enjoyment out of it. All of them kill people. So I don't know what did you guys think of that? I mean, did they not talk about that at dinner the next day? Like, hey, how many people did you kill? Jaime? He's like, none. I don't know.
They're like, yeah, I guess he's got the moral compass of the family. Maybe that's why it chose him.
I guess
maybe that's why
it's also the suit. Remember, like the suit is like basically
the suit was trying to kill people at the beginning.
Yeah, the suit's intent was let me murder, and he had to be like,
that's what's crazy about it too is that we don't even get to see like. I wish they would have showed maybe some more androids or something, so we could like see the missiles, see whatever. I mean, he could literally create anything he wants. So I mean, I think that's pretty.
He was kind of I mean, it's part of like the plot, I guess,
nerfing
like armor or nerfing.
Yeah.
But the fact that like that was what a planet killing or planet destroying weapon, and it's like at points he was getting his ass handed to him, and it's just 100%. Like, okay, come on, planet killing weapon.
Yeah, and that's why they're like planet destroying weapon, and it's like
I know that's part of the plot, like, and it's got to be nerfed, but at
least show us something crazy. Like, I mean, we see like the sword, we see the pulse cannons, like shit like that.
Yeah.
And especially like when he jumps down and the funniest shit of this entire movie, the scene was when their house is being burnt down and all the family's behind him. And then you see the shot of him come down flying and then he just like bumper cars them all. Like, and it was like the stupidest,
that was really
like sound effect. And then once he gets down, he's like, I'll show him what I can do. The scene like cuts to like a different, like, I mean, you guys, you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
And the family's just gone. They were all like hurt.
Yeah, you leaned over
like,
to me and you go,
they're all huddled down like on the ground, and then they're just gone. Like you don't see them running anywhere. They're just right there.
That was a good point. That was a bad transition.
Yeah. And I'm like
blocking them with the shield, and then the camera like pans or something, and boom, they're just gone.
It's like a slow-mo scene of him getting fired up, and like they're completely gone. Like, how do you make this?
They
movie?
ran away, and no one could shoot them.
It's like it's like writing a fucking paper for school and not revising it. You just fucking turned it in. Like, no one watched it and was like, wow, like, we need to fix that. It looks like shit. But,
I want to say, and this is one of the aspects I did like, and Secret Invasion recently did it, and it pissed me off. He gets this new power. He doesn't know how to use it. When he's winning these fights at the beginning or holding his own, the suit's controlling it. The suit's doing it for him. Yeah. He doesn't have to do it. In Secret Invasion and other movies like this, people get these powers and they just know how to fucking use them right away, and it's annoying. So it's like, the fact that they explained it, I like that a lot. I don't know if you guys like that or not, but
no, I mean, I
thought that was good because it made it seem like he's not just this martial arts like fighting master. Like the suit was literally, he was confused. He's like, what is going on? But go ahead, Aiden. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but I mean exactly that. Like when you're watching it, you're not like second, or you're not thinking to yourself like, oh, he just knows how to fight. The suit's got full.
Does he know how to fly this thing? Yeah.
But I thought that especially when they send him out into the atmosphere and shit, it's like Iron Man all over again.
Oh yeah.
Free fall. I thought it was cool. I mean, I wasn't a fan of the like the pulses when he was flying. I just thought that looked kind of like, I don't know. I guess it looked corny, but
but it makes sense, I guess, for the technology, right?
I guess.
But I get what you mean. Well, too, when you're in this like HUD, like when it shows you what he's seeing. I mean, but it's all blurry and it's like different. It's alien software, so it's,
and I was waiting for him to mention something. Like, I can't see shit out of this thing. But it was just like all in different like alien language and shit.
Yeah, but which I'm sure he must understand how to read it now that it's like tangled in with his brain.
Yep.
I did like the. What'd you guys think of her dad being like the original Blue Beetle or whatever?
I thought that was cool
from back in the day. I thought it was pretty cool.
I didn't expect that. Like that was like.
One of the like Batman vibes for sure.
Yeah, that was like one of the few things that you can't predict in this movie. I feel like I was like, oh shit, didn't see that coming.
And obviously we have a few more things to talk about, and I'm not trying to jump to the end, but since we're on the topic of the father,
Yeah, go
we do
for
get
it.
an end credit scene where they mention him, or he's calling his daughter, that he's saying he's still alive, and you honestly, when you're in the lair, you see that suit's missing, so you assume maybe he died in it, but clearly he's still like in the suit, probably.
Dude, whenever any kind of movie says like someone is just gone and not dead, that's prefacing for them to be alive somewhere. So
Yeah.
I feel like everyone, you can kind of get that tone from this, that he just went missing. He's for sure alive, because if they're dead, the movie typically throws that out there, and I feel like they lean onto that. She would be extra sad that he's gone, and they'd go visit his grave, and that would be part of the thing, but he's just missing.
Yeah.
So my prediction, go ahead.
I was going to say, on Twitter, I saw someone say that Jason Sudeikis would be a great pick. I was seeing a lot of people say that. Yeah, to play him. I mean, you got to think the guy's funny. He's the correct age.
But for me, I'm taking that end credit scene into consideration, or like in the aspect that he's going to. She said that he was like a good guy, like, he didn't want to make weapons, all that. But who knows where he's at? Like, he might be stuck somewhere. He might be captured. Maybe Jaime and her go to save him, and then he sees that he unlocked the scarab, and either he's like on his side and wants to know about it, or he wants to take the technology for himself and give himself the powers and redo the entire movie that we just watched. So
that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they don't do that route. I mean, I'm pretty sure James Gunn is good enough to not make it so obvious.
Yeah, and two, I did get some shit last week because I called the movie Black Beetle, but Black Beetle is a character and he is a villain to Blue Beetle, so that could be a route they go to, where it's just like it's a bigger dude with a scarab also. And
is Black Beetle in the city?
He is. He's not only in the city, but he's in the whole universe.
They evacuate immediately. No, what did you got? I want to talk about the scene where he gets the burger and then they're all talking. They're like, "Open it, she's not here," like all that shit. That was funny as hell. Then he opens it, he's like, "Oh, it's just a cheeseburger," and then it's like a fucking beetle. And then I thought that was. I mean, I liked it. So another thing, I hate to nitpick this fucking movie because I did not enjoy it. But I mean, like, I was just pointing out all the cheesy ass scenes, and like when they're looking at each other, that there's nothing in that box, and you could just tell their faces like, all right, act like you're like, what the fuck's going on? And when the beetle's on his face, the one sister like looks at the camera, looks left, and was like, like a fake, like she's not scared. Like, it's like, all right, scream. Like, it's just, it's like, not to say it was bad acting, but I mean, like, they could have made it, they could have sold it a little bit better. But
the transformation scene?
Transformation was crazy. I thought that was fucking sick.
That looked brutal, and
I liked awful.
I liked that okay. Do you mean like the CGI looked awful?
No, like awful for the character.
Like, it looked awful for him.
Oh, yeah. That's what I mean. It looked brutal.
It crawls up his ass.
Yeah, I liked that the family actually like weren't like, oh my gosh, like they were actually scared too. Like, you could see the fear. Like, we have no idea what is happening to our boy right now, but they kind of lost me when he just like blasts off out of the roof, and it just kind of pans to them like, just like, oh, like
carrying on.
Yeah.
They just carried on. It's like
I feel like there should have been like, it's those little misses like that. Like, there should have been some more urgency or something. And then like it just shows the mom like on the phone like, well, yeah, I mean, he's like missing but not missing. Like, I feel like you would react a little bit differently if you watched your kid turn into an alien and fly out of the roof.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
Possessed.
Yeah.
But even when I mean, you would think that like, yeah, they were scared, but I was like expecting like damn horror movie when they see him like all the black covers his face and his eyes turn yellow and shit. Like,
yeah,
I mean, you're watching it, you don't know that. Like, is he gonna be like that forever? Like Deadpool? Like, is he just gonna be?
Yeah,
that's who he is.
Anytime he takes the suit off, he's just gonna be ugly as shit.
Yeah. But, and too, if they use different music in that scene, like more horror-ish, it would have been fucking scary. Like watching it, if they didn't have that upbeat music.
Yeah, I mean, you see those like with the antennas and shit like coming out of his back. It's like, God. Yeah. Then he kept waking up butt ass naked.
Yeah, when they show his back with it like embedded in there,
it looked legit.
Damn. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that was
awful.
a good CGI. I didn't think he had. I don't think his character really had any bad CGI besides that one fight in front of the yard. But that Olmec, whatever, I thought that was cheesy from like start to finish.
Yeah, agreed.
Especially when he's like fully suited up.
Well, that's a classic trope in all these, especially origin movies where they're fighting the exact same villain as themselves, right? Either they're upgraded or they're slightly worse than them, but it's like same version of a suit that they're in or something.
Yeah,
it's hard to think of a movie that doesn't have that.
Spider-Man, I would say,
he's the best.
Yeah,
but he has also one of the best villain galleries outside of like Batman too.
Yeah, I feel like maybe Spider-Man and Batman would be the only ones that it's like feels actually different. But most of the others, it's pretty damn close.
And that's funny because those, like, we compare this bug creature to a bug creature from the MCU who's also a kid and has these insane powers. So
but such a weird ass like superhero, like Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
He's a fucking beetle.
No, but I want to talk too about this, and maybe this will give the cast credit because we did mention that they did do good in acting. I think the most impactful part, and again, not to skip all the way to the end, but when he sees his dad in that like dream realm or whatever, it was actually pretty emotional. It caught me off guard. I was not like expecting to see the dad again, and I like that it gave him and Jaime like that moment together for him to say goodbye to his dad. I thought that was really nice because the way he's dragged off.
I liked the whole. I mean, it's overused, but it's not your time kind of thing. But I still liked that. Actually, I read something that like people that have had near-death experiences have said that they have had something similar. Like they meet someone that says like, "No, you need to go back. Like you're not ready." Yeah. Now that could just be their brain playing tricks on them, but kind of interesting that our movies.
We just got that in Guardians 3 with Rocket.
Yeah, literally just got the exact same thing.
But I mean, it's been
maybe there's some truth to it.
It has been.
Click.
Yeah. Josh, you got hit by a car. What do you remember that?
Yeah, it was mainly like, oh no, my bike.
Or what about when you hit someone's car? When you hit Paul's car?
Did you feel like
maybe?
Maybe...
Oh no, my car. I only care about myself. No. Yeah. I don't know. That part was like, because the dad dying, like Andrew said, we kind of saw it coming, but yeah, I didn't expect him to pop back up, and I think it's what the character needed to give him that like final push. But yeah, I like the way they used it. Again, yeah, we've seen it before, but I think the way they did it in this movie worked better than like if he got knocked out and saw his dad or something like that, where it's like, it's in the suit.
It was definitely moving because I mean, like you said, he's captured and he's like, against his will, he can't move. He can't see him. He just looks up and sees that his dad's like dead. And in his HUD too, dying. You saw that it said critical
he can't.
deceased.
Yeah, he can't get involved. And in the background is the house on fire. So like everything he loves is being destroyed, and there's literally nothing he can do about that. And I don't know. I thought it was better. I thought they did a better job than what I had in my mind. So I was happy to see that.
Yeah. And we didn't mention too much about the Victoria Cord character, the evil CEO of this company. I guess, what did you guys think of her being a villain? Because she's technically the other villain. I feel like they just needed like a face.
She was she was a face. She was a crap villain. I felt nothing from her. I was like, she's gonna get smoked. Like, I was gonna say I liked at the end. When she has her, she has the code for the OMAC, and
it's just on a damn tablet.
it's on one tablet. You have that
everything
biggest company ever, and you got it on one phone. You didn't think maybe throw it on iCloud or I don't know, a USB drive,
a fucking Starlink.
You got it on one phone. I feel like I would have maybe thrown that on like 3 other devices just to be safe. So I thought
was stupid.
That was really, really cheesy.
Yeah, I mean, she, like I said, she had no power, I guess you could say. Like, she had a henchman, whoever that guy was, that was like obviously doing anything like for her. And then she's like, especially when Sanchez, whatever that guy's name was, opens the door, So that was another dumbass scene because he's helping Jaime out, but he opens the door for him. It doesn't even go on the other side with him. He just locks himself in with the fucking guy that's gonna rip him apart. And the villain, she's like, "What are you doing? Stop him!" Like, I thought
then Jaime didn't even run. He just sat there and watched the whole thing go down.
Jaime looked at it because his suit wasn't charged up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny on Rotten Tomatoes, his character's Dr. Sanchez. So
yeah,
her character, and that's why I think Conrad ended up like killing himself there at the end and taking her out with him, because he is at the end of the day a product of Cord, which is a company he, which took out his family, right? So I think it's just a way for him to be with his family again and not be a product of Cord and be under their control anymore. So, I think for his character, the way things went out for him, I think it did make sense. But yeah, her character really wasn't needed, but I think it was a face that needed to be there, I guess, for the blame of what was happening. But
and I mean, you saw all the like torture like his body went through in order to become what he was.
Yeah. So. And I love when they showed like his flashbacks and stuff from the suit being able to see the memories. Too bad we didn't get it like a little earlier in the movie, not the last like 5 minutes. But
and then also when they're at the party scene and he like clenches his fist, ready to hit her, like why would he still be working for her after?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think it's weird.
Yeah, because the way she's selling it is like, I saved your life and all this stuff. But yeah, you hear in the flashback that she's like, oh, we'll just get another if he dies. She does not give a fuck. Yeah.
Pretty brutal way to do it.
It was.
Yeah. But no, the Beetle scene landing, this is another corny scene too. Like, I think as a kid, if we saw this movie and we saw this Beetle farting on everyone, we would think it's hilarious.
That shit was.
But as an adult, it's like but I mean, it made sense for the thing. But
see, and that's one thing that I thought was kind of funny. Like, I was like, this is so stupid.
I thought that was good. I thought it was funny, especially that squeal at the end. It was like,
but the ship was badass.
Yeah, it was for what it was. I mean, that reminded me a lot of Watchmen.
Yeah.
Like that's two movies that we've seen. What was the other one that we just watched that reminded me of Watchmen? Kick-Ass, yeah. That I mean, you see all those like, I mean, they're not superheroes, but this guy's got this tech and all that, and he's got like a fucking secret lair, and he's got some old ass like vintage shit from back in the day.
Yeah,
and I like that. I like that it was retro too. Yeah, Power Glove. Which I thought that she was gonna punch someone. It was gonna be like a hologram. I didn't think it was gonna actually work.
Yeah, as a shield and as a fist.
Yeah.
So I guess to talk about the ending, after the fact, I think they're rebuilding the house. I thought they're gonna end up moving into that mansion. That's what I thought was gonna happen. Cord was gonna give them the mansion.
I didn't even think of that.
I thought
I thought she was gonna buy him like a new house somewhere.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But
that's basically what she said. Yeah, they're going to rebuild it or something, or they're going to cover the cost, which...
She shows up on the end on the motorcycle. Good luck.
Yeah,
they stopped. She took off her helmet, threw her hair back.
For sure.
Yeah.
I thought that was good too, because, I mean, obviously she's not like the rest of the...
family.
Was it Cords?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, I mean, you go, like, that's a sugar mama, basically, so... I mean, he's locked in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool too.
Oh, dude.
But I didn't like how she spent all that time with the family and she was like acting professional with them, She's not like, don't worry about it.
She has a cry with them at the end.
Yeah, but that's when they're in the before. I'm talking about the motorcycle scene. They're there and she's like, well, in the luxury of Cord companies, we will be rebuilding your house. Like, it's not like, don't worry about the house. I got you. Like,
Yeah, like keeps it like a little bit more normal talk. She's like, hey, and maybe we hang out in that house. I'm a rebuild that shit.
Yeah.
Let's get you all a couple jobs here. I am now the CEO of this like $1 billion company.
Rudy got a new truck, a new taco.
Yeah. She was like, here's a truck, and I hope you guys figure things out. I'll see you later.
Good luck to you guys.
I gotta go.
I hope I see you soon.
Yeah, I liked the whole watch thing. She was there for a total of like 6 minutes. She's like, I gotta go. Sorry.
Sorry about your dad.
I'm busy, but I drove a motorcycle here, so it's gonna take me a while to get back.
She's like, no, I'd never even wear any of. any of this shit. I just
she had to
did
be
it to
somewhere,
drive here. I'm gonna go change and go back to work.
So no, I think that Jaime like picks her up and they go back to the her old estate, like the old mansion. I think that's when they're gonna go into the thing and see that message, and then there goes the start of the sequel.
I think it was cool too when like the neighborhood people showed up because it's like, first it's like a community, and then they finally have their own superhero, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then the one of the funniest scenes for me in this movie is when they're kissing at the end, and the Beetle goes, "There's a lot of blood rushing to your southern regions." That was funny.
No, it was like to your lower abdomen.
Lower abdomen. That's funny as hell.
That shit was funny as hell. I was cracking up.
And that's a joke like that would go right over a kid's head, like completely.
100%.
Yeah, but makes an adult laugh.
Yeah, so there is adult humor in it for sure.
They did another one like that after he and her were kissing on the bed.
About to kiss.
No, he had the pajamas. He had those loose pants on.
Yeah.
He's like, nice pajamas. He's like fucking readjusting himself.
Yeah.
Oh, and you knew Rudy was going to run in right before they kissed because they're taking a second.
Of course, that's part of it.
Cock blocking uncle.
You want to throw it into scores here, or you guys got anything else?
No, I think we hit everything. I like the way the movie ended. Like Aiden said, I think it's going to lead right into this next movie, and hopefully they get another shot because I think the cast deserves it and everything. So.
Yeah, no. I mean, I hope that I hope the sequel's good.
Josh,
hopefully they do one.
You want to lead us off with the scores here? I'll go, and then maybe Aiden can go.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So I guess I'll probably be the highest of us three, but not by much. I really did enjoy the movie. I think this is a movie too where you could go with like your family to see it. You can go with your girlfriend to see it or boyfriend to see it. You can go, with a group of friends. It's not a movie where, it's just for families or just for kids or just for adults. It's for everyone to enjoy. Now, yes, it's a movie that's a little cookie cutter that we've seen a ton of times. And it's just mainly superhero fatigue too. I think if this came around, 2013, 14, this would have been more praised. But I think at this point, people are getting exhausted with the superhero genre. So with a movie like this, where you can tell things are coming from a mile away and is a little corny, it is hard. But I still did enjoy this movie. It's crazy. We were shitting on it for the last couple of months because we really didn't have any faith in it. So maybe that helped out a lot. It's definitely better than The Flash. I'm going to go with an 80 flat. Okay. I could see myself watching this again in the future because honestly, it didn't even feel like it was over 2 hours to me. I felt like it kind of flew by a little bit. So yeah, in a few years from now, if I'm streaming something and I want a DC movie, this is probably where I'll lean because there's not a lot of great ones, outside of like the Dark Knight and all that shit. So, but yeah, I'm going to go with an 80.
Gotcha.
Well, that's funny because I had an 80 as well.
Okay.
I had that score. I gave it a Sanch like right when I got out of the theater because he asked me how it was. So I'm sticking with it. I think that it was a good movie. I mean, it was definitely a fun watch. Like I said, I don't mean to nitpick the movie, especially with this like new director, which I think he did a great job. And I don't know if you guys watched any like videos with him or anything, but he's just like a normal ass guy, and that they gave like a fucking movie to. So that's cool. I think he did a great job. I think Zolo did a great job. I mean, it's pretty cool, having this like reboot under his belt, I guess you could say, because I mean, it kind of does depend on this movie. Not that it's going to go make $1 billion, or it'd be lucky if it honestly makes any profit. Because like you mentioned, like superhero fatigue, I mean, like it's hard to draw people to these movies, especially with the history that DC has and their, the past franchise. But I mean, I think that they got a good thing going. I mean, yeah, it was a little corny, but I think that they can do something. I think they got something good on their hands. So, cast was great. All in all, it was a good movie. And like you said, I mean, it is a family movie. It's anything. Anyone can watch it and they'd enjoy it.
Yeah.
I can't really see anyone bashing this movie.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'll kind of pick up after you, Aiden. You guys kind of expressed everything that I was going to say there, and my score is not too far off from you, so I feel like I don't have that much to add. Maybe I felt that it was a little bit cheesier than you guys, just a little bit. But overall, I went into, like I said, originally with pretty crappy expectations. The more and more I heard that lifted it up a little bit. I never thought this was going to be a blow me out of the water movie. It was not. And I disagree. I don't think I'll ever rewatch this. Not because I didn't like it, but because I just don't think I'll rewatch this. I'd rather rewatch one of the other superhero movies that does the exact same thing that I like a little bit better. So
you'd see the sequel, though.
Yeah, I probably will, because we'll have to cover it for the podcast. That'll be why I see it. But I'm just going a little under you guys. Going with a 75. But I will say, I mean, I told Josh before we saw this movie that I was giving it a 0 no matter what. So, I mean, hey, we're 75 points over what I thought I was going to give it. So I'd say that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, 75 out of 100. I feel good with that.
Yeah, it's fair. I figured after we saw it, I might be the higher of us three, which I guess technically I was, but yeah, I don't know. Hopefully we see the character again. But yeah, that was our Blue Beetle review. Also, Black Beetle review.
Black Beetle review.
Thank you guys for listening.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening.
Special guest Sway Lee and Slim Jimmy.
We'll see you guys next time.
Yep.
See you guys.
See you, boys.
Thanks for listening. Peace out.